Hi everyone, welcome back to our last and final episode on the Netflix payment login project. So in this lesson, we'll be wrapping up with our footer. We'll be designing our footer, which is our last part of our project. So let's dive in. With my project folder already open in my VS Code, I'm going to continue from where we left off last time. So outside my second section, I'm going to create a third and final section for our project. So inside this section, I'm going to give it a class of third underscore container. Alright, so inside our section tag, we create a footer. So footer, yes, footer. And inside this footer, we create a div which has a class of footer underscore container. And inside this footer underscore container, we create another div with no class for the meantime. So let's confirm what we have on our picture. So our first element to design is questions, and it has a call and some numbers. So let's type that in. So questions, question mark, and call. Now let's try to get the numbers. Okay, so 1844 1-844 505 hyphen 2993 2993. All right. So what do we have next? What do we have next? So we have FAQ, questions and answers or something. Yeah, FAQ. Don't really know what that means. Health center, terms of use, privacy, cookie preferences, corporate information. So corporate information. And I think all this should be made in a hyperlink reference. But since we are just making um, user interface web development, no interactivity, we are just going to stick with creating this as a paragraph. So I'm going to create a paragraph to hold this element. So let's create the first three, which is the FAQ, the help center, and the terms of use in the div we have created. So, okay, outside this div, you create another div. I think I didn't do that. And in this div, I'll have a class of um, FAQ container. Okay, let's say FAQ underscore container for now. And I have paragraphs of three in this for the meantime. The first is FAQ. The second element in the second paragraph is help. The help, am I sure? Let me confirm. Yes, the help center. So help center. The last one in this element is terms of use. Is that how it is in the picture? Let's confirm. Okay, the capital, okay, it's only small o, not a capital O. So terms of use. And I would like to have a same class or similar class for all these paragraphs. So all these paragraphs will be holding similar or same class name. So FAQ underscore format will be my class name for now. Okay, and create another container. And inside this container, I have the second paragraph element. So 1, 2, the cookie preferences and the corporate information. So let's do that. So P times 2 with a class of FAQ. This one a different name style. FAQ style. Alright. So the first one has a cookie reference, and this one has corporate. Nope, this is not for the corporate. Yeah, there's an R here. Corporate information. Yeah, corporate information. If I'm sure. Yes, corporate information. Let's save that and open with live server to see what we have. Okay, so these are the elements in our footer for now. Let's continue. What again do we have in the picture? So we have a select or an option here to be able to change our language. So since we're not doing anything related to JavaScript, we are just going to hard code this just to give us two options, and we are going to have an English and a French language, and we are not going to do any JavaScript to translate anything on the page. So just a hard code for now. Okay, so to do that, let's create another div, and inside this div create another div, and this has a class of globe container. So globe underscore container. Why? Because there is a globe image in the select input. Okay, so there's a globe image in the select input. So globe underscore container for the globe container, and create a div inside this container to hold our input or our image. So image here, and the sources, I think images, and we are using the globe. Yes, yes. So I already told you guys that I have pushed all the codes to the GitHub page. So my GitHub page has all these codes inside, and it has all the images, and I made provision for the link in the second video. In the second lesson on the YouTube page, there is the link to my GitHub, so you can access that link and take the pictures if you want to, or you can download it yourself on the internet and use it. Right. So the alternate here has globe, and it has a class of globe. Okay, let's continue. Outside our globe, um, outside our globe div, we create another div to hold our select. Okay, before we move on, I think I should give this a class of globe box. But I really need that, but let's do that just in case. Let's give this a class globe box. Now back here, select, no div, no name, no ID. Okay, so it has to have a name, and it has to have an ID. So the name here is going to be language, and the ID too will be language. And inside this select, we have two options. So option times two. We have two options, with the first having a value of English and the second a value of French. Alright, so let's continue English here as its element and French here as its element. Okay, let's confirm that from our picture. Alright, so we have the select option here, and we have a gigantic image for the globe. Okay, I think this is all we need for now. Yes, this is all we need for now. Okay, no, let's give this a class. So our second class that holds the paragraphs tag, let's give it a class of the same thing. I think they will have the same format. So the same class over here, copy and paste the same class here. Alright, so we are done for the HTML codes. Let's move to CSS to style this. I'm going to split my screen here and hide this for now. So the first one to do is the footer. I'm going to start working on the footer for now. So the footer is the first element to tackle. So footer, and what attributes do you want to assign to the footer? Let's position it relative. See that. Let's give it a background color of hashtag F3 F3 F3. Save that to, oh, what about the background color? Background color is, yeah, now it has changed. And what next? Let's change the color of our text. So the text color, which is color 2, hashtag 727272. Now our text has also changed. Let me maximize this. Okay, perfect. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, let's continue. The next to edit here is, let's check that from HTML. So footer container is the next element, the next class to edit. So dot footer container, footer underscore container, and we are just going to give it a padding. So padding inside should be 20 pixel at the top, 30 pixel at the right side, 20 pixel at the bottom, and 30 at the left. Nice. Okay, let's move on to our FAQ container. So our FAQ is a class. So FAQ underscore container. So let's display this and make it a display of flex. Display flex. Nice. And let me maximize this. Alright. So display flex changed our format here from block to something more like an inline display. So let's continue. Why does this keep doing this? Okay. The next to do is the FAQ format. So dot FAQ underscore format. And let me check where that is. Okay, so that is our element, our paragraph element. So we are working on the paragraph element now. What attribute are we going to assign to this padding on the right side? Only padding on the right should be, I want to space out this, the text element to look like this. So padding on the right side, 200 pixel. Let's have 200 pixel. And I think 200 pixel did that. Yes, 200 pixel is okay for now. Let's stick with 200 pixel. And let's add a cursor attribute to it. So cursor to pointer. So anytime you hover around it, it changes to pointer. Okay, before we move on, okay, this is FAQ style. Oh, sorry, I thought they were all having the same class name. Let me just copy this because that's the next thing I'm going to edit. So dot control V to paste, and let's move on. So FAQ style, what are we going to apply over there? So that one has a padding on the right side to be 80 pixel. Let's take it 80 pixel, and the same cursor attribute to pointer. Now let's work on the language, the globe box, the globe container, and I think our select option. That's the next thing to work on. Yes, let's do that. So our last and final elements to work on are the languages, the globe box, and the globe container. Globe container. Okay, so to start with, let's start with our language, and our language here has an ID if I'm correct. So an ID, not a class. So hashtag hashtag for IDs, and language. And what do you want to apply to the language? You want to give it a width of 100 pixel. Padding. Let's add some padding. 20 pixel on the top, 10 pixel on the bottom. Let's repeat that, 20 px and 10 px. It is 20 instead of 10. Okay, save that and let's see what happens. So this changes. Nice. Let's move on. Text align. Let's text align this to the center. Nice. Let's do something border. Okay, let's move the border to be none. So the border here is going to be moved to be none because I want to contain my globe and this select image and the select option here in the same container. So I want to fix this globe and this in the same container to be surrounded by one border. So to do that, I'm taking off the initial border on the select input here so that I can add my own border when I resize my globe image. Okay, so none to move the border, and font size. The font size of our select should be 15 pixel. The last thing is the color. The font color should be the same as this 7272. Okay, let's save that and it refreshes. Let's continue by editing out our globe container finally. So globe underscore container, and this should have let me confirm from the image. I think we should resize the image first. So globe container, let me see something. Globe container is this holding the globe box. Okay, so I think I'm not going to use the globe box for now. So let's take with globe container. So globe container here should have a width of 150 pixel. Let's start with 150 pixel. The border 0.5 5 pixel solid. Hashtag 7272. Yes, that, and display should be flex. Nice. And the align item, I think should be center or justified. Let's do that. Align items and center will be okay. Okay. Background color should also change to white. The last one over here, and justify content should be space between the last one here. Save that. Alright, so let's resize our image dot globe. Resize our image. Let's give it a width of 20 pixel. Let's see. Nice. And what else? Margin on the left should be 25 pixel, and some padding on the right as well to open up our box. Padding of 2 pixel. And for some reason my border has disappeared. Let's try to fix that. So the border has disappeared for some reason. So over here, oh okay, this is supposed to be background color, no border. So background color, this, yes, so this is what I wanted. Okay, so the last thing I would like to add here is, sometimes it doesn't work, but the select option, select here, and option is active. So when our select option is active, the border should be set to none. No outline design here should be set to none. Let's see. It doesn't work, so I think we don't need that. Alright guys, so I think that is all on the Netflix payment project. Okay, so let me zoom out. No, I think you are not done. Yes, so there is a gap here. There is a wider space between our bottom and our footer. So we need to add that. So when you confirm that from a picture, you see there's a space here to our footer. So we need to add that. And this is our form is in what container. Let's locate our container to do that. So our form is in the second container. So second container has something, so the margin on the bottom should increase. So let's locate second container from this side of our CSS code. Yes, second container, there's it. So let's add margin on the bottom. Margin on the bottom, I think let's start with 60 pixels to see if it's okay. 60 pixels. It's still not okay. Let's increase it a bit more. 100 pixel. We should go further. 150. Still more. Let's make this 200 pixel. Okay, so I think 200 pixels is a bit okay for me. Let's confirm that from the picture. Yeah, so 200 pixel is okay. Alright guys, so this is all on the Netflix payment project. What do I have for you next? What do I have for you next is this contact us page I personally designed. So aside being a programmer, I'm also into UI UX design and graphic designing. So I personally designed this contact us page, and we are going to code this just as we see it. So this is also not going to feature any JavaScript code, just HTML and basic CSS. So see you guys in the contact us page lesson. Bye.